and welcome to Obsessive Movie Talk. Today, let's talk about the Critters movies. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and put them on.
Critters is a 1986 American science fiction comedy horror film directed by Stephen Herek in his directorial debut and co-written by Dominic Muir. It stars Dee Wallace, M. Emmett Walsh, Billy Green Bush, and Scott Grimes in his film debut. On an asteroid prison, a group of dangerous aliens known as Krites are set to be transported to another station. The Krites engineer an escape and hijack a ship, prompting the warden to hire two shape-shifting bounty hunters, Uck and Lee, to pursue them to Earth. Starting life on Earth by Warrior's satellite television transmissions, Uck assumes the form of rock star Johnny Steele, while Lee remains undecided, thus retaining his blank, featureless head. On a rural Kansas farm, the Brown family sits down to breakfast. Father Jay and Mother Helen send teenage daughter April and younger son Brad off to school while waiting on mechanic Charlie McFadden. A former baseball pitcher, Charlie has become the town drunk and crackpot, with claims of alien abductions foretold by messages through his feelings. That evening, Brad overhears the Krites' stolen ship crash landing and goes to investigate with Jay. They discover a cow that has been partially eaten by the Krites, and disturbed, they flee back to the house.
Critters is a fun ride with many wonderful and memorable scenes, both with the bounty hunters destroying everything in their hunt for the critters, but also the critters themselves is pretty great, and the creature design and effects are awesome. Critters 2 is a 1988 American science fiction comedy horror film directed by Mick Garris in his directorial debut.
A direct sequel to Critters, the film was written by David Twowney and Garris and stars Scott Grimes, Don Keith Upper, and Terrence Mann reprising their roles. The plot takes place 2 years after the first film, as a batch of planted critter eggs begin to hatch and resume their carnivorous appetite upon the town once again.
And of course, the bounty hunters return again to give you lots of fun, memorable scenes.
The Critters causes a lot of mayhem, and Brad and Charlie, who has become part of the bounty hunters, must save the day.
Critters 2 gives you more of the fun you enjoyed from the first film and expands on it. It's a fun ride.
Critters 3 is a 1991 American science fiction comedy horror direct-to-video film and the third installment of the Critters series. Directed by Christine Peterson, it was shot simultaneously from February to July 1991, with its sequel Critters 4. And unfortunately it shows, since the quality of the films is going downhill from here. Unlike the first two films, it does not take place in the town of Grover's Bend, but it marked Leonardo DiCaprio's film debut, which of course is interesting since he's obviously had a great film career afterwards. Sometime after the events in Critters 2, Charlie McFadden is tracking down the last of the critters, and it basically follows a family and some other tenants and an apartment building. The film itself is watchable, but nothing special compared to the first two films. The critters and the effects are alright. The film ends in a cliffhanger as Charlie is about to destroy two critter eggs, but is ordered not to, and a containment pod sent from the Intergalactic Council crashes into the basement. Critters 4 is a 1992 American science fiction comedy horror film starring Don Keith Upper, Terrence Mann, Angela Bassett, and Brad Dourif. Unlike the first three films, this installment adopts a darker, less comedic tone and takes place not on Earth, but on a space station in the year 2045. Picking up where the previous film left off, Charlie McFadden is stopped from destroying 2 cried eggs from a hologram message from Ark, who tells him that the eggs are the last of 2 in existence and that destroying them would go against intergalactic law. Charlie reluctantly obeys Ark's orders and goes to place the eggs in a preservation pot. Whilst doing so, however, the hatch closes on him and Charlie is launched into space, becoming deep frozen in the process.
And well, the film is pretty much a mess.
All of a sudden, Ark has become a bad guy, and he explains this to Charlie by saying, "Things change."
Things change, Charlie.
Alright, it seems like this one destroyed the film franchise, and well, we don't have so much positive to say about it. The Critters movies, they're so awesome. I got this really cool Scream Factory box set, which is actually all that you need with the movies included. So that's just perfect. So till next time, take care and remember, we'll see you sooner than you know.